working at a warehouse, right? I can't even say a warehouse. Working at the warehouse I work for. I'm not going to say anything, but I am going to call it PJ. And that's the best I'm going to do. You'll probably get it when I tell you the stories. Because I'm going to say one word and y'all going to immediately know. So, whatever. But I didn't say anything. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that, but I'm going to do whatever. So, I effed up with Habit, but I don't work for Habit anymore, so I don't care. So, you come in. Okay, speed up, please. You come in. There's a board. And I would put a picture of the board up, but that would give away where I work. If you didn't already figure it out. Go to the board. There's a list of routes. And that can range from 9 to about 15, 22 at the worst. Like Thanksgiving and other stuff. Because that's when people be ordering whatever. So it's got how many routes, who's loading it, and how many pieces it has, as well as other stuff, but it's not relevant to me. Come in, you get your forklift, and then you see your assignment, you go to your truck, or you find a truck on the dock. We have 10 doors. 2 to 11. We have 10 doors, and if you paid attention, we got sometimes 13, 20-something routes, which is already problem number one. You will find a truck. Maybe you find one that's stripped, which means the truck, because in the truck, there's poles, there's pallets. No, in a truck that's ready to be loaded, there's just poles. Because you have to put the boxes, and then you got to pull that joint up so it don't fall over when they drive it. But in a truck that's not stripped, the poles all over the truck, there's pallets in there that you got to take out, and there's a bunch of garbage from boxes and cardboard or just stuff that things were wrapped in. So when you strip a truck, there's also empty trays from the dough, because we send out dough and then it's in these plastic trays, and then the trays come back so they can get cleaned and everything, and then they go back out eventually. So you got to take all the empty trays off, you got to move all the poles to the left side, and you got to take all the pallets and the garbage out, and then you have to spray the truck out or blow it out with a blower or something. Just something to clean it out. Or sweep it out if you have no other option. Except in the winter when it's too cold, then you just leave it, because it's what you're going to do. Best you can do is sweep it, and that's if it'll come out. So after that, then you gotta load the truck. Which I'm not going to go in depth about, because it doesn't matter. The problem that happens here is, forgive my language, but niggas don't come to work. And there's no sign of real repercussions for things that take place. Like, I come to work, I say hi to everybody. That wasn't relevant information. I come to work, I do what I'm assigned, and then I go home. Maybe I'll even get thrown on something extra, because what happens is that board that I mentioned, they have everybody's name written down for everybody who's supposed to come to work. But if people call out whatever, they'll go in, they'll erase, they'll move names around, or they'll make a team truck, they'll throw a slash on somebody's name, and they'll be like, okay, boom, this person, and boom, this person gonna help out. Which, okay, they called out, that's fine. Now somebody has to jump in on that. But the problem is, why am I the one that's always being asked to do a team truck? You have other people who are getting, you have other people who are getting 1,900 pieces, 1,500 pieces, 1,100 pieces, 900 pieces, and the whole week, and not getting a team truck when people call out or when there's too many routes. But I'm getting 19, 18, maybe a 2,000 piece truck, and then you have me jumping on a team truck that's still 1,900, 1,700. Bro, my piece count is hitting 4,000. Or at the very least, 2,500 at least. Averaging a day. And if not a day, more frequently when other people are only averaging 2,000 or 15. Like, it doesn't Make that make sense. It's unbiased. Just because y'all think y'all know I'll do it because I do my job, God forbid, because that's what I'm here to do. I come here to work and do what I gotta do and go home. Other people are here to do that too. They're like, oh no, I'm not doing 2 trucks. I'm not beat for that. You're not doing 2 trucks. You're doing a truck and a half. If you finish your truck before the other person do, start that joint. And if y'all finish at the same time, finish the truck out. At that point, then it would be 2 trucks. But most of the time, everybody coming in staggered. I get there at 2:30. Some other people get there at 3, 4, 5, 7. It's staggered. So people not gonna finish truck at the same time, and that's assuming your truck is there. Because your truck could not be there and not be stripped. It could be there and be stripped, or it could be there, not be stripped, and there's nowhere to put the trays. Now that I have a video of, and I can definitely show y'all, because it's ridiculous. And I'm going to make sure I throw that in there too. So yeah, all of that's a bad day, because all the area over here that I was walking down, because I started at the back end of the dock. When you walk in, there was trays on the floor, like on the dock. There shouldn't be. When you get all the way down to you can't see that here. When you get all the way down to the end, where all of them trays was blocked in, you had to walk down that aisle just to get to the soda. Bro, that thing should be half cleared out every day before I leave, before production leaves. But they leave it when it's full. So then when we have, remember, we have 10 doors. Let's say we got 13 routes. That means 3 trucks got to get backed in again, which means they probably need to get stripped. So if that area where all the trays are blocked is called tray in. If the tray in is full and we have 13 routes, the 10 trucks are stripped, but we got 3 other trucks that need to get stripped, and they get backed in, where are those trays going? On the dock. And then people got to drive their forklifts back and forth up the dock, going in the freezer and the cooler to the dry, getting all their stuff, but they can't get it because they got all these freaking empty trays, pallets in the way, and it's super unsafe, and then we have a whole nother problem. It's ridiculous. When I first started back in September, that was never a problem, but we also didn't have soda then. I also learned last night that one of our interim directors ordered more trays because they thought we needed them, and now we got no room for that because of that. So it's not all production's fault, which I originally thought, but it still sucks, and y'all not doing anything about it, because now we run around here having no space, and you're making it worse. Thinking about it in the grand scheme of things, it just sucks, because this job really only sucks because people don't come to work and there's no repercussions. Because I can think about, there's a point system. 20 points, you're terminated. You're late, a point. No call, no show, 10 points. There's a whole point system. Everybody that works at this place, with the exception of me and probably about 3 other people, should be fired like 4 months ago. Or at least 2 months ago, if you want to be generous. Should have been fired. These people still work here because y'all can't get anybody in the daggone door to be hired, and you can't keep the people you got because you're working them to death. And the people who you don't work to death because they're like, nah, I'm not doing that. You don't want to fire them because then you don't have anybody. It's a cycle. It sucks. It's awful. And compared to Habit, where that was just favoritism to the max, and I've been here, so I have seniority and I can do whatever I want, which is its own can of worms. This is just, we're gonna work the people we got to death because we know that they'll do it. No. One of the leads that does the board once a week, sometimes more, depending, he'll look at the piece count from the day before. So if I had like 2,000 piece truck and a team truck of let's even just put that down to 1,500 or 1,200. The next day, if he sees that and he does the board, he'll give me an 1100 if we have it, or the smallest truck I can, because I did a team truck and a full truck. So I should have a light truck today. Makes sense. And then the day after that, give me 2 trucks. Whatever. Team truck, whatever. I had an easy day yesterday. Fine. But you can't do 1900 team truck, 1900 and a 1900 team truck, 1900 and a 1900 team truck, 1700 and then a 1500 team truck for 3 days straight. That's not fair. And then everybody else on the board is getting 1 truck, 1 truck, 1 truck. It makes no sense. And it's not fair either. I shouldn't be going to work wondering, I wonder who's going to call out today. No. That's not my problem. And I think this week I might see if I can grow some balls to be like, I'm not doing that. Everybody else come in here and do 1 truck, and then they say I'm not doing it, and then y'all just let them go scot-free. Why I gotta be the one that always get 2 trucks? Or me and Brandon, whatever. Brandon is our help guy from PA. We've had some help guys coming since we got this soda mess. It's dumb. And then there's not enough forklifts for the amount of people that work there. Like, we got at least 13 people that work, but we have, let me see, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, plus the 3 rentals. That's 11 forklifts. But 6 and 8 and 7 have trash batteries that die in an hour. No one wants to drive the 3 rentals because they're too new and they don't like how they drive. So that's 3, that's 6. Half our forklifts are garbage that no one wants to drive. So people get hindered because the forklifts have to keep getting put on the charger, and then people charge them like they phones. They can charge in like 30 minutes, which it's a full machine. It's not gonna charge in 30 minutes. You got to give that joint some hours, but you can't do that because your truck already takes 9 hours to load. Some people can load it in 5, but that's people who've been there for years. On average, at nighttime, trucks take 8 hours to load. So if you have a bad forklift, you better forget that dream. So there's a whole other problem. I drive a yellow one because that battery is good. But they don't want to get new forklifts. They worried about, electronic policy, no speakers or phones or AirPods. Or, let's just buy this new thing, this new pump jack that no one ever uses. Bruh, how about we invest in some forklifts? How about that? How about we get some more people in the door to replace these people that don't do their jobs or don't do their trucks? Y'all got a new director in here, and then y'all prioritizing the wrong stuff. Y'all worrying about stuff that is... It don't make no sense, bro. And then y'all don't pay us enough. I'm not complaining because it's more than I made before. And I'm not even complaining about my pay now, really, because I'm just like, okay, whatever. But allegedly, we don't make enough. I feel like I should be paid more because I do my job more. Okay. I feel like I should be paid more just because I'm the one that actually stays and does extra stuff. So I should definitely be paid more. Because you got everybody else who be like, they see their name on the board twice, and they be like, I'm just going to go home. They ain't going to do nothing. And they don't. But God forbid I do that, and then they'll be questioning me and down my back, like, why'd you do that? Because I was sick of it, and everybody else do it, and nothing happens to them. And it wouldn't be fair if you start doing something to me because I'm me, and I always do it. That's not fair. Start with the people who always been doing it. God forbid I want a break because I'm the one you always rely on. You can always rely on someone, but then what happens when you're not there? You can't rely on them no more. You gonna try and find somebody else to rely on? Good luck in this place. That ain't happening. Not like me, anyway. That seems very prideful and egotistical to say, and there are more people that will do it, but whatever. appreciate me. Alright, I'm done. That's a 15-minute video. I hope y'all understand more about my job. I guess. Like, I was there yesterday. I was there from 2:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon until 3 o'clock in the morning today. So Friday, 2:30 in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday was how long I worked. And on Wednesday, I was there from 2:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. So I'll be getting my hours in, and it's a limited OT because they don't freaking care. But that also kind of sucks because then it's just like I don't know when I get to go home. People say like, oh, overtime is... Oh, y'all can't see me for nothing. My gosh. Okay. People say that the overtime is 10 optional because we do 4 10s. So it's supposed to be like... It's supposed to be 4 days of 10 hours. Bro, I'll be working 4 days of 15 to 12 hours. They don't force you to go home, so it's good, but it also sucks because I'm like, I should be able to leave, and I have a heart, and I don't want to always want to do my best. So if they give me another truck, I fear getting in trouble or having a conversation because I did something everybody else did because I became a follower. But at the same time, part of me is like, you're not being a follower, you're sticking up for yourself because you shouldn't be the only one doing this stuff, which is also accurate. There's truth to both ends, but there shouldn't be a favoritism mechanic. I don't feel like there's favoritism. I just feel like management doesn't have the balls to actually like do anything about it. And I think that just makes me mad because like you need to do something about this. And I feel like it goes up the chain of command, like, okay, we need to do something about this. We need to get more people, but we also need to fire the old ones so we have reliable team members. This has been going on for 17 minutes. This is probably going to be my longest video on the channel. And it's just me complaining. Ha! I'm going to upload it though. So yeah, I don't know. I don't. But I can't think of the solutions. I don't get paid to think of the solutions. And I'm not fixing the problems. I'm just going to do my best and keep it moving. Because I try to do extra stuff here and it just don't work out. And I end up getting pissed off and run over. So it's just... This is why I'm going to be a plumber. Because hopefully, I'll just go. I'll work there. I might get treated like garbage, maybe. But hopefully in the long run it'll make it so I make enough money to be sustainable and live on my own. Hopefully. I want to see if we can hit 20 minutes, but I also don't know what else to talk about. Talk about the forklifts, board, management. Yo, they don't care if you what you got going on. You gonna load this truck? That's what they care about. There was a blizzard here twice. They got people a hotel room for the first one to make sure they come to work the next day. And the last time it snowed, they didn't even care. They just said, come to work. And trucks got left because the snowstorm was so bad for them. I drove in both those snowstorms. Not because I wanted to be at work, but because I didn't care about the snow. Snow don't scare me. You drive like you got some sense and you drive slow and you have a vehicle that can do that. I mean, I only got 2-wheel drive in the front, so it's better than back-wheel drive, but you got all-wheel drive and you don't drive like a maniac. You got 2-wheel drive, you don't drive like a maniac. You'd be all right. I drove in both them snowstorms, did not get in a wreck. Because I know how to drive. And I drove when nobody was around, so I didn't worry about other people's stupidity. And that's all it come down to. But it's crazy that they wanted us to be there and then finish. When there's a blizzard outside, we might not even be able to go home. Trucks got left that night. But yeah, working at a warehouse ain't for the weak. You're going to figure out what you made of when you get there. I can survive in a warehouse, but you got to be able to lay down the law and stand your ground on certain things if they don't have rules and protocols in place like Amazon, which allegedly they do. That's all I got to say. Because they do want slaves. They don't want workers. They want slaves, bro. You gonna make some good money, get that OT, but do not let them abuse you, bro. I'm not getting abused yet, but because but they borderline in them. Stay humble. Don't do too much. And work at a warehouse if you want some money. But make sure that you got some rules and regulations and they follow through on them joints.